Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. I thought I would sit down and do another video for you guys and gals. Let me get a sip of my water first. My beautiful radio voice going, and let's talk about this. All right, a bunch of people are going to say, Jason, why do you make this video over and over? Because I don't have a choice. Okay? This is probably the single most important fitness argument and topic in the entire community right now. Okay? It is, again, let me state this again. This is the single most important argument right now in the fitness community. And as long as every single day I have people come into my comments under my videos and try to say that vegetables are bad for you, even after I ban them over and over and over, more of them show up every day. As long as I continue to see this every week, as long as I continue to go to fitness groups and I see people jumping up talking about the merits of eating no vegetables and pushing it on everyone in fitness groups, and as long as I see channels out here who have hundreds of thousands or 1 million followers telling people not to eat vegetables, I'm going to continue to make this video over and over and over, because clearly the message is not being heard. Okay, we need to be clear on that. Clearly this message is not being heard. 10 years ago, this was unheard of. Everybody understood this. The entire fitness world, all medical doctors, all personal trainers, all your fitness professionals, all your influencers, like, you have to eat your vegetables, guys. And the few who didn't got made fun of. Oh, you're having to do a green powder because you're a little child who can't eat vegetables. They got made fun of. Now we have this massive movement in the other direction. So yes, this needs to be made clear because the evidence is overwhelmingly one-sided. Okay? And I'm going to be honest, any person who can even be convinced to listen to some person on the internet where you even say, yeah, I want to try this, because this came up in my comments the other day. You know, someone said, I tried the whole carnivore thing for a while. It was horrible. A few months later, I had to quit. I went back to eating my vegetables. Wow. And I asked him, I'm like, how did you even get convinced of this? You know, you have to wonder, what is the intellectual capacity or critical thinking skills of a person who says, oh, I hear some guy saying vegetables are bad for you, some fringe doctor, so I'm going to try it, instead of going and saying, hey, maybe I should go to Google and go see what all the leading experts around the world say. Because that seems kind of drastic, because everyone knows vegetables are good for you, and because we do know they're good for you. Again, this is not something that's not enormously supported by data. So when someone says cite your sources, what do you mean? It would take my whole life to cite all the sources. There are that many. Like, if a person says, I want to see the evidence, walk to Google and just start looking for studies on vegetable intake. You're going to spend the next 1,000 hours of your life digging through stuff, and you're going to walk away from it thinking, wow, I can't believe anybody would even have the audacity to say otherwise at this point. It is literally like they're the flat earthers of the fitness world. It is that level of insane. So what do we mean they're good for you and they're necessary? I just did a video, it came up yesterday, about fiber, right? Explaining all the importance of fiber intake. That's a big part of it. So you can watch that video. I'll try to remember to link it in this one as a card. So you have that one. And then when we start looking at all the other stuff, so that's setting the fiber aside, because we can find fiber in other things besides just vegetables or other plants. You know, nuts, seeds, legumes, grains, all that stuff. But vegetables themselves, the antioxidants and phytonutrients. And people get too caught up in, like, well, okay, I see the vitamin C. I can get vitamin C from a vitamin. Sure you can. But vitamin C is not the only antioxidant. People get caught up in the normal macros without thinking about all the phytonutrients and overall variety of antioxidants. There's hundreds of different antioxidants. And do you understand that? So when you start looking at different fruits and vegetables, you'll be like, oh, this one's really high in these three, and this one's higher in these three. And you start going through and realizing there's a variety of antioxidants, and they can be synergistic effects between them in the body. Right, so it's not like vitamin C to where you have to have a very specific one. Yes, vitamin C is an antioxidant, but it's also a specific vitamin that we have to have. The general category of antioxidants of others can fill a wide range of things. It's not like you have to have this specific one or you're going to have a dietary deficiency that ends up making you sick or kills you. It's having just a broad spectrum of them. That's why they're not classified like a vitamin. But yes, getting a high intake of 7 or 8 different antioxidants is absolutely correlated with improved health, absolutely correlated with lower inflammation in the body, absolutely correlated with reduced cardiovascular problems, reduced diabetes, reduced cancer rates. It's correlated with better recovery from your exercise. Okay? They make you feel better. They're good for you in general. So this is something that people are not factoring in with a lot of this. And notice that's not even bashing on people who do low carb, because a lot of low carb people at least get large amounts of vegetables. And I want to be clear, I don't think low carb itself or even keto is inherently dangerous. It's the fact that people choose to do really high saturated fat keto and not eat enough vegetables with it. That's a problem. If a person didn't eat a ton of saturated fat and they ate a high amount of vegetables, keto is perfectly healthy. So again, we need to be clear on that when I'm bashing keto. I'm bashing the people who are like, I'm gonna live on nothing but red meat and eggs and butter. Yeah, that's a problem. Even if you're adding a little bit of vegetables, if it's not many, that's still not good. Your saturated fat's way too high. But that's a different topic. But some people who do that sort of keto do have good blood work, who are doing very large amounts of vegetables, and they're not just living on red meat. You know, they're adding a lot of healthy fats in. A lot of them have great blood work still, and they're perfectly healthy. That's, again, a viable, healthy approach. But this whole idea that the vegetables, I mean, they're absolutely correlated with reducing all-cause mortality. And again, it's a proportionate to intake. The more vegetables you eat, the better your health tends to be. And then you have people who say, well, I can't handle large amounts. You have to build to it. Because if your gut isn't used to it, yes, it takes time to adapt. You can't go from eating a low fiber diet to a high vegetable diet. It's going to take you months to build up. Okay? Do it gradually. That's how you do it. You get lots of people like, I couldn't do it, and it was pain. And then now they're like, now I eat double the amount of vegetables I had problems with back then and have no GI tract problems. Why? Because you've adapted to it. Your gut flora needs time to adapt, to be able to break the fiber down, process it appropriately, because again, the fiber has health benefits, which we covered in that other video. But yeah, this has to be said over and over and over, because the people who are telling you to not eat vegetables are literally killing people. It is a deadly message. Absolutely deadly. And yeah, it has to be countered. People should be making videos on this every single day, because the other side is. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys and gals next time.